Have you ever been on a website where you ask a question in a chat window and receive what looks like an automated response? It probably is, and it may have been built using the conversational AI workloads. By the end of this domain, make sure you know the difference between the Q&A Maker service and the bot framework.
The main piece of this domain on conversational AI workloads is that of chatbots, also known as bots. These bots are built and deployed using two main tools, the Q&A Maker and the Azure Bot Service. If you have ever been on a website to where you asked questions and got automated answers, you have worked with a chatbot. I am on the QAMaker.ai website, and I have a chatbot to show you to get this discussion started. I will select My Knowledge Bases, select the Utah Test KB0 knowledge base, and here we see some possible questions and answers for a chatbot geared toward helping people with travel to southern Utah. I will select Test and select Start Over just to make sure this is clear, and I will ask this a question. How far is your hotel from Arches National Park? And I got an answer. I will ask another question. How far is your hotel from Moab? This returned a match, but not a very good one. We will see how to build and test one of these later. For now, understand that these chatbots can be used to help automate conversations with clients and help save time for humans not having to answer the same questions all the time. Not all chats are bot-based. Sometimes automated responses need to be made using telephone voice menus. For the exam, know that telephone voice menus are built in a very similar way to chatbots, to where the bot is built through a knowledge base of question and answer pairs. I'm going to use the rest of the time in this topic to show how one could go about planning a bot or a telephone voice menu. I have a flowchart here for a reservation system for lodging in southern Utah. Notice that each statement leads to different paths for lodging possibilities. And if an option is not clear, one can have the user attempt to ask a question again or seek a path to a real-life human being to get more information on the subject at hand, in this case, lodging. Doing a flowchart such as this will help ensure the correct question and answer combinations are being used as the bot begins to be used, and of course, adjustments can always be made as needed. Another aspect of AI that uses a knowledge base with questions and answers is the one used for personal digital assistants, specifically voice-activated ones. This particular sample, taken from the Azure AI Gallery, takes airport data and uses it to feed Cortana, Microsoft's voice-activated service, to relay information on flight delays at airports. Data is imported from flight logs, processed, scored, and then readied for Cortana using an R script. While this is a sample, I will not run the experiment here, but an AI model like this could produce what I'm about to try in Cortana. I will select Talk to Cortana and then verbalize a search. Are flights from Salt Lake City to Los Angeles leaving on time? And right away we see some flight information, and we can find an upcoming flight if we need to do so. Before we get into some detail on how these conversational AI pieces are built, understand that they can apply toward chat, toward phone systems, and toward personal digital assistants, with an emphasis on voice-based personal digital assistants. We have seen how conversational AI can carry intelligent conversations through chatbots, voice telephone systems, and personal digital assistants such as Cortana. In the next section of the course, we will begin the process of building a chatbot, but before we do, we should look at the main piece of a conversational AI solution, that of a knowledge base. Q&A Maker is the main tool for building knowledge bases. I am on the QAMaker.ai homepage, and I am going to select My Knowledge Bases. I will select this Utah Test KB0 knowledge base, and here I have the basis for a chatbot. A knowledge base filled with questions and answers. This, by the way, was imported from a Word document. Let's say that we have tested this out and we want to add a question about when it is the best time to visit southern Utah. I will select Add Q&A Pair. Add a question. When is best time to visit southern Utah? Then I will select Enter an answer and type spring or fall is best, as it gets really hot in the summertime. Then I will select Save and Train, and this will update the knowledge base. The Azure Bot Service deploys bots such as this chatbot, but we can test this through selecting Test, and I will select Start Over to start the chatbot as if one is just starting to use it, and I will ask the question, when should I visit southern Utah? And look, even though we did not ask the question exactly as written in the knowledge base, the bot knew enough to still pull the correct answer. The main takeaway here is that most conversational AI pieces do need a knowledge base as a starting point for these AI pieces. We have identified features and characteristics of bots. Let's start the process of building a bot, which starts with a question and answer list, which we will start to build using this Q&A maker. I am on the QAmaker.ai website, and I am going to select Create a Knowledge Base, which will hold pairs of questions and answers. Then I will select Create a Q&A service, assign it to the Workload Test resource group, name this Utah Test Q&A 3. And since this is just a demo, I will use the free pricing tier. With Q&A Maker, we need to specify a location to allow for searching a knowledge base. I will go with the West US location and the free pricing tier as well. I will assign the website to the West US 2 location, App Insights to the West US location, and then I will select Review and Create, and then Create. Then I will select Go to Resource. From here, I will select Q&A Maker Portal. I will select Refresh so that I can assign the service to my Azure subscription. Select the Utah Test Q&A 3 service, and sometimes we have to retry after 10 minutes. I have waited the 10 minutes for the endpoint to be created. I will select Refresh, and I will select the Utah Test Q&A 3 service. Select English as the language, and I will name this Utah Test KB3. From here, we can populate the knowledge base using an existing URL or a file, such as a Word document. I have one with a few questions that I will use to populate this knowledge base. I will select Add File, and from the student folder, I will select this SOUT Travel Visitor QA Word document. We can add chit-chat questions if we want, such as for how are you and questions like that. But for now, I will just select Create your KB. From here, we can add alternative phrasing if we wish. I will just do so for the first question. I will select Add Alternative Phrasing and type, how far is your hotel from Arches National Park? We can add a follow-up prompt to each answer as well. For this first question, I will select Add Follow-up Prompt, and this allows us to link to a follow-up question from another knowledge base, such as if we had one for other national parks. We do not, so I will cancel this option. I will select Save and Train to finish creating this knowledge base. Then I will test this. I will select Test and type. How far is your hotel from Arches? And we get an answer. Notice that we just have to have a partial match to a question to get an answer. This looks good. So I will select Test to hide the test and Publish to publish this to our existing service. We've seen the Q&A maker. Let's now see what the role is of the Azure Bot Service. I will search for and then access Bot Services. Then I will select New and Web App Bot and create. I will name this Utah Test Bot 4, assign it to the Workload Test Resource Group, and then select Create. And then go to Resource. I will then select Build. Building bots in Azure is a three-step process. First, we build the bot through adding and adjusting source code. You don't need to know how to code this for the exam, but do note that you can add code to refer to a Q&A maker build you have. We can also download an emulator, which allows us to connect to services as necessary to add to the bot. The web chat feature allows us to test a bot to make sure it works. That is the second step, to test the bot. The third step is to publish the bot. And in doing so, we can publish it in continuous deployment mode, meaning that updates to our bots are published automatically. That is a convenient way to keep a bot updated, but for real-life situations, be careful with this, as this also ensures any tests you conduct for enhancing a bot will be published as well. Next, I will select Channels. Channels are methods by which we can deploy a bot. Notice that many common messaging apps are available as distribution methods for a bot. Then to test any bot, I will select Test in Web Chat. And this allows us to ask a question and get an answer once a bot has been built. Code can be edited through the online code editor, which takes several minutes to load, so I will not do so here.
You've reached the end of this course. Remember the key piece to the exam. Be able to identify which tool is being used and which concept is being applied for situations where an AI solution is needed. Thank you for taking this course, and best of luck on the exam.